For me, working for Igennus is incredibly rewarding. We're a very small, family-run business, and we specialise in the formulation of pharmaceutical-grade nutraceutical products, primarily omega-3s. The government actually recommends that we should be consuming about 0.5 gram of long-chain omega-3s a day, which equates to 2 portions of oily fish a week. We are not an oily fish loving nation, and generally the general population is actually consuming about half the recommended intake of omega-3s. For non-fish eating populations, the level is much, much lower. Consuming concentrated, purified fish oils offers a very simple and very safe way of increasing omega-3 levels. Our product PharmEPA was actually formulated looking at scientific findings that have shown that EPA levels, this particular type of omega-3, is deficient or is very low in certain conditions such as neurodevelopmental disorders, ADHD, dyspraxia, and even sort of conditions going on through to things like depression, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, all known to be associated with low levels of omega-3, low levels of EPA. One of the strongest scientific areas for showing that EPA is beneficial is in the area of depression. Increasing EPA in individuals with depression can help alleviate many of the symptoms that are associated with the condition.
I was diagnosed with depression in 1998 and spent years on antidepressants, which I don't think did anything for me. I fought with the psychiatrist for years to take me off them, and finally, 10 years later, he did take me off them but asked me to take a good quality omega every day, which I agreed to do because I would have done anything to get off the antidepressants. And I don't think people really know what a good omega is. I didn't. I just went along to my local health food shop and bought 2 for 1, and they didn't make any difference, and I stopped taking them. Until a friend of mine, I was moaning to her like you do, that these omegas hadn't worked, and she told me about Igennus and PharmEPA, which I believe everything this friend says. She's great, and she was right about PharmEPA too. They've made a big difference to my life. I felt like a big cloud had been lifted when I started taking them, so I'm happy to be here today to tell others about them because I think it's a product that really works. And I haven't found many products in my life that really work, so.
I'm a body fitness competitor. I've competed for the last 5 years now. 2 years running I've actually been placed 3rd in Britain. So next year looking to take that step further. But the problem with my shoulder, it was basically overtraining. I was lifting quite a lot of heavy weights, trying to obviously increase my muscle size as much as I could. So pushing it beyond the average person's limit, I guess.
Omega Flex is a very unique combination of glucosamine and primarily omega-3 EPA, and this makes it an excellent supplement for anybody who is extremely active, so sort of sporting athletes.
It's actually my friend that recommended Omega Flex products to me. I was having a lot of problems with my shoulder, doing a lot of weight-bearing exercises, lifting quite heavy weights, but was getting this constant niggling pain in my shoulder. So my friend, she recommended the products to me, and amazingly enough, it has just gone, it's disappeared. So to be fair, I didn't think it would work that much, but it did.
As we get older, our bodies lose the ability to make certain sort of components of joints and cell membranes and that kind of thing, and so it's a good combination for sort of dealing with sort of joint stiffness and that sort of general kind of aging and wear and tear as we get older. We found that we were getting contacted by vegetarians and vegans who were asking us if we had a product that was suitable to be taken for people who don't want to eat fish or people who can't eat fish.
I was reading a lot about the benefits of omega-3s and all this sort of stuff that's been in the press a lot, and you know, if you read any health websites and that kind of thing, there's a lot of information coming through about them. So I was thinking, as a vegetarian, you know, obviously people were talking about flaxseed and, you know, making sure you're getting lots of healthy fats in general, but, you know, really flaxseed was kind of, you know, people were saying, oh, I'll get this, you know, pressed flax oil and all this kind of stuff, and you drink it and it tastes absolutely disgusting. But when I found out about the Echium oil, what I sort of understood was that basically the sort of the chemical components of the oil are converted more efficiently by the body.
We knew that there was a new product called Echium seed oil. It's a very new oil. It was only given food approval in the UK at the end of last year. So we kind of kept our eye on that, and we brought that out as a product called Echium early this year. It's probably about the closest thing that you're going to get to a fish oil without it actually being a fish oil.
I think it's quite difficult for vegetarians to maintain a you know, high level of omega-3s and these fatty acid building blocks in their diet. So I think long term, taking Echium that has these specific, you know, specific fatty acids in it is going to be the right step to doing that, to making sure that you know, over a long period of time, I've got everything that, you know, the body needs to maintain really optimal functioning.
My advice to people who are wondering about taking fish oils is that they definitely should, because of unless they are going for a completely natural diet, which is almost an organic diet, and even then with current farming methods there isn't as much omega-3 in particular available in natural foods as there would have been 200 years ago. So therefore, if you're nowadays, you need to be taking some supplement. I know that it's said you can live off oily fish, but I don't know what the figures are, but I have a feeling that it's you have to eat oily fish several times a week.
I think it's very difficult to, it's possible, but I think it's very difficult to maintain a really balanced diet, making sure you're getting sufficient quantities of all the nutrients you need just through diet. I mean, you know, if you can spend all day long preparing food and making sure you're getting the best organic ingredients and loads of variety and all this kind of thing, then you probably don't need supplements. Yeah, maybe unless you've got a sort of particular condition or something. But you know, realistically, it's really difficult to do that.
Diet is extremely important. Diet, I'd say, is 80% of it. So yeah, you have to get it spot on. Good fats in your diet is also essential. It's essential for burning the body fat as well. Also the fact that the omega flex, there's not much calories compared to the other good oils you get. That's a benefit as well. So you know when you're taking, you know, 3 or 4 a day, it's not going to affect your diet.
I still have lots of fish in my diet, but I'm not naive enough to think that given how much food has to be produced these days and how farmed fish is these days, that I get all the omegas I need from fish. And also the fish we eat are fully grown fish, and I know that the oil extracted from the fish for Vegeta is from very young fish that aren't contaminated by the toxicity.
So I mean, I do have people who say to me, well, you know, how do I know that I'm deficient in omega-3s? And what I would say to them is, you know, if you're not consuming 2 portions of fish a week, and we're kind of talking more on sort of about oily fish, so mackerel, sardines, anchovies, that kind of thing, the chances are that over a period of time they may actually become quite deficient in these long chain fats. But that's the beauty of Vegeta, is it's so concentrated that just taking 2 capsules a day is actually the equivalent of their 2 portions of oily fish a week. So it kind of just solves their omega-3 intake.
I've recommended omega-3 and Vegeta in particular to a number of friends, and they have all, when they say they've tried it, they tell me that they sleep better in particular. And I do have a friend who suffers from ME, and he has found it of quite a lot of benefit. He feels more alert and is able to do more as a result of taking Vegeta.
Yeah, I've recommended the supplements and the company actually to a few friends. A lot of the guys I train with take some sort of fish oil or glucosamine kind of supplements, and there's a lot out there, and I think the quality is a bit variable, but you know, with the Igennus, Echium and Omega Flex and things, it's, you know, it's a sort of pharmaceutical grade, really top quality product. So I've recommended them and told a few people about them, yeah.
I recommend it to everyone because it really works. I struggled for so many years to find something that worked for depression other than antidepressants, so I want to tell other people about it. Why shouldn't they know? It might save them many years of something that doesn't work for them. I mean, antidepressants just made me feel numb. They didn't work, and they don't even know why antidepressants work, but we know why omegas work, so everybody should take them, not just if you're feeling depressed. They help everybody's state of mind. They're good for lots of things. So yeah, I recommend them to everybody. And they're on my website, and I've even written about them in my book because I believe in them so much.
Now that is an interesting question. What else have I found the benefits from the Vegeta in particular and the relevant omega-3? Well, just say that at 66 I sometimes feel I'm acting like a 16-year-old.